How three Indians built wealth with just 5,000 per month. Let that sink in for a moment. Not 10%, not 30%. We are talking about the vast majority of working Indians making the same mistakes decade after decade. And here is what makes this terrifying. These are not uneducated people. These are engineers, doctors, government officers, people with MBAs, people who read articles about personal finance, people who know the word SIP. And yet, most of them will retire with far less than they need. Today, I am going to tell you three real stories, three real Indians, their names, their cities, their exact mistakes, and the exact numbers. Because I believe the only way to learn about money is through stories that feel real, that feel like your cousin, your colleague, your neighbor. By the time this video ends, you will know the three mistakes to avoid and the three habits that could change the next 30 years of your life. Stay with me. Before the stories, the numbers, because the numbers explain everything. 94%. Let that number sit with you for a moment. 94% of Indians have no passive income. This is not a developing country statistic from 50 years ago. This is today. This is 2025 with smartphones, UPI, Zerodha, and every financial tool imaginable. And yet, 94%. The average Indian household saves around 12% of income. That sounds reasonable. Until you understand inflation. The rupee loses 4 to 6% of purchasing power every single year. So if your savings are growing at less than 6%, you are running backwards every single year. You work harder, you earn more, and inflation quietly erodes it all. Now look at the Sensex chart. 14% average annual return over 20 years. That is not opinion. That is history. If you had invested 10,000 rupees in 2004, you would have over 1,40,000 today, a 14 times return. But the average Indian retail investor earned less than 6%. Why? Because of three behavioral mistakes. Not three economic mistakes, three behavioral mistakes. Let me show you what those look like in the real world. Meet Arjun from Mumbai, 29 years old. Software engineer at a product company, monthly salary 90,000 rupees. By every measure, he was doing better than his peers. He had read the books. He knew about assets. He had invested 15 lakhs over 3 years in equity mutual funds. He was building something real. Then his company announced a restructuring. His team was at risk. And simultaneously, the market entered a correction. His portfolio started dropping, 20% in 6 weeks, then 30%. The business news channels ran headlines every night. Market in free fall. Recession is coming. Global slowdown. His portfolio fell 47% over 8 months. He watched his 15 lakhs turn into 9 lakhs. His wife asked every night, "Should we pull it out?" His parents said, "We told you not to trust the stock market." And finally, after 8 months of watching his screen every morning with dread, he redeemed. He took the 9 lakhs, put it in an FD, and told himself he would get back in when things stabilize. But things stabilized faster than anyone expected. In the next 14 months, the market not only recovered, it went to new highs. Arjun watched from the sidelines. He had locked in a loss of 6 lakhs, not because the market took it, because his own fear took it. He told me later, "I thought I was being smart. I thought I was protecting my family, but I was actually just running away from temporary pain and turning it into a permanent loss." Priya from Bangalore had a completely different problem. She was 25 when she got her first job. A marketing manager at a mid-sized company earning 55,000 a month. Smart, disciplined, she saved diligently. But her father had a rule. put everything in FD. He had lived through 1992. He had seen the Harshad Mehta scam. He had watched colleagues lose everything in the market. So his advice was absolute. Only FD. Priya trusted him. By the time she was 32, she had built up 22 lakhs in fixed deposits, 6.5% interest. She thought she was being safe. She thought she was protecting herself. But here is what she did not understand, and what her father did not know to warn her about. Inflation was running at 6%. Her real return after inflation was 0.5% per year, effectively zero. After 10 years, her 22 lakhs nominally became 40 lakhs. Numbers on paper went up. But in actual purchasing power, what she could actually buy with that money? She had only 25 lakhs worth of goods she could afford. The bank earned 12 to 14% by lending her money to home buyers. The bank built wealth. Priya stood perfectly still. She did not lose money in a crash. She did not make a bad trade. She just eroded, slowly, silently. 15 lakhs gone by playing it safe. Now meet Rahul from Pune. Same generation. Started working the same year as Arjun and Priya. Same starting salary of 50,000 rupees. Same city expenses. Same access to information. But Rahul did three things differently. From the very first month he started working, the first thing he did was automate. On the first of every month, before his salary even settled in his account, 20,000 rupees moved automatically into a SIP across two low cost index funds. He set this up once. He never revisited it. He never thought about whether to invest this month or not. The system just ran. The second thing he did was build a firewall. He kept 4 months of expenses in a liquid mutual fund, not an FD, a liquid fund earning 7%, accessible in 24 hours. This was his emergency fund, his financial shock absorber. The third thing Rahul did was nothing. When the market crashed 35% in 2020 during COVID, he did nothing. He did not open the app for 3 months. He said later, I had my emergency fund, I had my job. That money was for 15 years from now. Why would I look at it every day? His SIP kept running. He kept accumulating units at the lowest prices of the decade. When the market recovered, Rahul owned more units than he would have if the crash never happened. Today, at 32 years old, Rahul has a portfolio of 62 lakhs. Arjun and Priya combined have less than 20 lakhs. Same starting point, same market. The only difference was three habits and the discipline to stick with them when everything felt uncertain. Three lessons from three real lives. These are not theories from a textbook. These are conclusions drawn from actual outcomes. Lesson 1. Automate before you think. The reason most people do not invest is that they wait to see what is left at the end of the month. There is never anything left. Lifestyle fills every rupee you give it. The solution is to remove the decision entirely. Set your SIP on payday, the day salary hits, not after you pay rent, not after you buy groceries. Before everything, automate it. Make the decision once and let the system execute it for the next 30 years without you. That is the entire lesson. Lesson 2. Inflation is the silent thief. This is the mistake that catches educated, disciplined people. A fixed deposit feels safe. 6.5% sounds like growth, but 6% inflation means your real return is 0.5%. You worked hard, you saved, and inflation quietly took it while you slept. Any savings vehicle that does not beat 8% annually is losing your purchasing power. Index funds have delivered 14% annually in India for 20 years. That is not a prediction. That is documented history. Lesson 3. Market crashes are buying opportunities. Every crash in Indian market history has eventually led to a new high, every single one. The investors who retired wealthy were not the ones who predicted the bottom. They were the ones who kept buying during the fear, whose SIPs kept running in the dark, who understood that temporary pain on a screen is not the same as a permanent loss. These three habits take 15 minutes to set up, and they will work quietly in the background for the rest of your financial life. If Arjun's story hit close to home, if Priya's story made you think about your own FTs, if Rahul's story showed you what is actually possible, then do not leave this page without subscribing. Every single week on this channel, I break down real financial situations that affect real Indian lives, not American advice translated for India, not jargon heavy lectures, real stories, real data, lessons you can act on the same day you watch. This channel exists because the financial advice most Indians receive is either wrong, outdated, or designed to benefit someone else. I want to be the thing nobody had when they were 22. A clear, honest voice on money. Designed for India, designed for us. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell. And next week, I'm going to show you one of the most powerful concepts in all of personal finance. How 1 rupee invested at age 22 becomes more than 200 rupees by the time you retire. And why most Indians miss this window completely. That video could be the most important 15 minutes of your financial life. I will see you there.